Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Spice and Wolf episode number 18 reaction. So the previous episode, the situation escalated a little bit and Lawrence at least have a proper plan now what to do. So basically his plan is that he challenged Amati, and his plan was to buy the pyrite from him on no sorry sell him pyrite on credit, and he said that he's going to sell the pyrite to him tomorrow, but he's going to get the money now, and his plan is to use this opportunity to crash the market of pyrite, and he plans on doing that by spreading a rumor that the wheat price will rise, so people will start selling the pyrite and buy wheat, which is going to crash the market. That is his goal, and obviously his main goal is to make Amati go penniless, so that he cannot, not penniless, but won't, reduce his wealth to such a degree that he's not able to provide the 1,000 coins that he has promised, which is obviously going to completely make the contract, the match contract and everything null and void. So that is his full plan, and Amati knows that, and Amati is that confident that he will be able to pull this off, and that Hollow, who has already signed the contract, will will be okay with it. So obviously, like, Hollow signed the contract, gave him a huge boost of confidence, which is why he's that confident and he took that whole bait. So now the plan is to buy pyrite, and to do that, Lawrence is planning on going to Diana, because she's an alchemist and she has the pyrite, and her pyrite is completely separate from the normal pyrite, so even if he buys it from her, it's not going to change the market price. So yeah, that's what's happening. So let's see what happens today. Episode number 18, let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Yeah. Oh, here we go, Mr. Battles. Yeah. Yeah, Diana. Like, he knows what he's trying to say. Okay. Because obviously, he literally told him that, yeah, like, Diana is, like, the alchemist, and she needs a lot of pyrite. So she must have pyrite, which, if she can sell him. So, yeah, everything lies on this, like, if he's able to procure a good amount of pyrite from her. Everything's, like, stands on this. So let's see. Hmm. Hint. Yeah. It is that important. What? Damn, so it has a. Yeah, I want to drop it. Cargo is about to fall into a valley. Damn. Hmm. I don't understand. Like, I guess Butters can understand what he's trying to say, but why is he not saying directly that, oh, I need help for, the situation with. Oh, I guess oh yeah, he doesn't want to reveal Hollow's. Oh, I guess that makes sense. That's why he's even in front of Diana. He never talked about Hollow. Maybe that's why he's trying to keep it a secret or something. Okay. But I know someone. Yeah, there you go. Come to buy a box to store white feathers. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, so dark. What is this? This is Lawrence. Okay. Oh yeah, he's inside the. I have come here to get a box. What did he say? To store white feathers. Oh, damn. Come on, give the password. Password. Okay. Here we go. Okay. That was simple. Right. Several visitors. What? Oh no. Oh. Oh my god. Yep. Here we go. Yeah, she knows. All right, here we go. Okay, here's the thing. Did Amati come here? Like she said there's been. A minimum for March and yeah, he said the same thing to Batos. Okay. Hmm. Box to store what? Oh. Mm, right. Hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, bruh. Brought it on credit. What? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh no. 16,000. What? That is okay. I'm so confused. What is happening here? Okay, I need to read this part again. I'm kind of confused now. What's going on? Under the stone marks. Hmm. Around the time of the market. As soon as possible. Right. Hmm. Right. Oh. Right. Yes. Hmm. Oh, she was gonna say something. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Right. Well, like I said, she understands even with all the like secrecy and everything. Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing: is that really I'm confused. If it's Amati, why would he buy on credit? Okay, I need to think about this. 370 points. Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. Much extra money to begin with. Ah. Wow. That is so ironic. That's why they're like, yeah, I can sell it to you if you. Wow. Yeah. What? Okay. Wow. Yeah. Ah. Who do run around on this? Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Sure. That by the curse of traveling was wow. Wow. Damn. Yeah, she said that before. Hmm. Yep. Well, he's thinking about it now. Wow. 10 million isn't enough. That is true. Second hand because he himself used. What? Okay. What? Is he wants to experience the yeah, like I said, he wants to experience the same. Okay. Everyone's just drunk. Uh no. Yo, wait, he's in the middle of the street, just there sprawled on the ground. Couldn't he just, I don't know, like in like a corner or something? It's the middle of the street. Oh, I'm guessing he probably slept in the corner, but he rolled into the middle. Yeah. Right. Lant. Eolant. Ooh. Oh, for you. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Time for the showdown. No one's selling. Okay. Right. Okay. So the rumor hasn't still been started. Okay. He's going to do it later. 800 Iliad. 80 times. Yep. When it's in excess. Yeah. No one's selling the people have some. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that is a problem. Yep. Okay. So people are coming here to buy, and they're like, more and more, it's increasing. Oh my god. It's yeah. So it's increasing. I'm guessing. Is that Amati? Oh no, never mind. Oh, there we go. Okay, Hollow's here. Right. Okay, let's see. Good president. Is 2 years early as possible. Wait, he's already. Is that 1,000? Rimmer gold. So exchange at today's current market value. 23 Rimmer gold coins. Wait, so contract for the 500. Okay, well, like Diana said. Okay, I'm getting a bit confused here. So wait, so what now? Okay, so the bell rang. Okay, okay, it's gonna end here, I think. Okay, so wait, I'm kind of confused now. Wait, so oh wait, those coins, those were oh, I just realized. Okay, that was for the thing. Okay, I was so confused. That was the money for the one that Lawrence is going to sell him in credit. I'm guessing. I was like, wait, he already like collected the amount? Like what? Then the whole thing is over, isn't it? Okay, okay, I just realized. Right. I was confused for a moment. And yeah, he himself said 500 coins. So, that makes sense. In the previous episode, he, like Lawrence said, like 500 coins worth of, okay, and that's why he gave him the contract. Okay, so it's okay, it's still ongoing, it's still not over. I was so confused. I was like, wait, the game is over then? Like now, he going to do? Right. Okay. And that was today's episode. Okay, today's episode, like nothing much really happened, but I guess something did happen. He did go to Diana and have the whole conversation, and then after that there was a few other, like, a little bit of more of a conversation, and an important thing did happen, which is Lawrence understanding his own, I guess you could say, what he's thinking about the situation when, like Hollow asked him that question, and who am I to you, all that stuff. He understood himself better now, and yeah, so that, those two things happened. Now, okay, so that's what's going on now. The market, it's obviously the market has start. Oh, another thing, I was thinking, so I need to go back to that part and I need to check it. Diana said something about, like there being a customer who came and who also brought pyrite in credit. So, obviously Lawrence is like, no, I want you to give that pyrite to me. I'm ready to pay whatever amount is needed. So, that is why Diana was like, okay, so I'll negotiate, that type of thing he said. So it doesn't make sense. What, like, at first I thought it was Amati, because who else would try to get hands on pyrite? But it makes no sense. Why would he do that? And I doubt the fact that he even goes to. Here's the thing. I doubt the fact that he'd even be given the permission to go in, because you see, like, like Bartos is the one who always listen to the people, and if he deems someone worthy, then he's the one who gives Lawrence, the person, the password, and then that person can go and talk to Diana, and Diana herself decides whether this person is, like worthy enough or not for me to, like help that person out. It's because it was Lawrence, and because Lawrence said that whole thing about, his cargo and this and that, and obviously Diana and Bartos probably realized what he's trying to say. That is why he was given permission, and like, yeah. So I don't see, in no way am I saying Amati coming and them like helping out Amati, because Amati is pure business in that sense, and also obviously the whole, like, I don't see it. I don't see Diana selling pyrite to Amati. So I'm not really sure like what's going on here. Like, so okay, you know what? Let me just scratch that out of my head, because up until now I was trying to think, why would Amati buy, like the pyrite from Diana in credit? But I don't think it was Amati, because it's in no way is Diana selling pyrite to Amati. Because from what I have seen and from what I have observed about him, he doesn't seem like the type of person who Diana would sell stuff to. Like that kind of thing. So yeah, and that's the interesting thing, because like Lawrence's friend, he said something like, "Oh, up until now, I've seen you're just like a pure businessman, like a traveling merchant, a pure traveling merchant. But now I can see, like stuff has changed, and your whole thing has kind of changed, which is kind of interesting and kind of funny, because like that is exactly the reason why I feel like Bartos even gave Lawrence permission to go in, and Diana was ready to do business with him. If Lawrence was pure business, if he was still the same person that his friend saw, that his friend remembered, then I don't think Diana was going to sell, like sell the pyrite to Lawrence. Just if he just wanted to make a profit out of it, in no way she would have done that. And and that is why it's kind of funny to think about, because It is exactly that reason why he was able to do business with Diana. Right. So yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. While reacting, I was thinking, why would it, because I kind of assumed like 50%. I was assuming that it was Amati who went there to buy a pyrite from Diana. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Diana or Batos, they will be doing business with Amati. I don't see that happening, because Amati, like, from what I've observed of him, he doesn't seem like the type of person who could impress these two. you know so yeah, like, no way. I don't see that, but I'm not really sure who like the person was then, and maybe it was just some random buyer or something, so maybe it's not really that much of a big deal. But the thing is that, like, obviously this again kind of proved that when Lawrence heard that, like, someone has already brought in credit, it kind of proves how Lawrence was like, I'm ready to pay anything. It doesn't matter. Again, it proves that it wasn't business for him. He was more, and I'm guessing, like, Diana, exactly that's the reason why she was like, okay, fine, I'll do the negotiation and see what's going on. Right. So there you go. Okay. Yeah, so because, and I feel like Lawrence is thinking it's Amati who went there to do the transaction. That is why he was like, I'm ready to pay anything. Like, because he cannot let Amati get hands on pyrite, because as soon as he gets his hands on more pyrite, then, even no, that's not the truth. It's not that he doesn't want Amati to get hands on pyrite, it's that he doesn't want Amati to take the pyrite from him, because if he gets the pyrite and if Lawrence doesn't get it, Lawrence won't be able to do his, like, his usual plan of crashing the market. He won't be able to do that unless and until he has a good amount of pyrite to sell it at the same time and crash the market. um you know so that's the thing. So it's not that he doesn't want Amati to get the pyrite. Like, Amati can take pyrite as much as he wants, but if he does it normally, it's fine, because if he does it normally, like, the price is going to increase more and more, and he'll have to spend quite a bit to get that amount of pyrite. But if he gets his pyrite from Diana, that is the problem, because, like, Lawrence has no other way to get pyrite, because, outside, you saw how Lawrence wouldn't be able to get his hands on pyrite properly. But in the end, I guess his friend did say that there are a few people who are ready to sell. But still, like, this pyrite is. Oh, but I guess that pyrite is also kind of like, the big thing in question here is that, like, if you buy pyrite normally, it's going to increase the price even more, which Lawrence doesn't want to have. He wants the price to stay still for now. So he wants to buy pyrite from, like, an external source. That is why Diana. So if Diana's pyrite is gone or is taken, it'll be a big problem for him. He won't be able to get his hand on proper pyrite like that, and he needs that pyrite to crash the market. So yeah, that is why he's panicking. And in the end, he was like, yeah. So, and that's why he was ready to pay any amount of money to get the pyrite from. I guess he's thinking it is Amati who's doing this. I don't know. That's why I think. And yeah, it's kind of funny, because you remember in the previous episode he was saying stuff like, oh, like, it's like pure business, like, no problem. I won't get into any loss. I'm not really, like, even if the price increases, it decreases, it doesn't care. It says, like, I'm not going to be at any type of loss. And now he's like, I'm ready to pay anything. So, that kind of shows how, the whole change in the, like, when it is needed, he's ready to put in everything for this whole, like, circumstance. Right. So that's what's going on. Now, another thing I want to discuss about, I'm going to go through this episode little by little. There's a few things that I need to properly understand. Like, the ending part where Amati comes in, that part I was so confused. He comes in and gives him a bag of coins, and I'm like, wait, so he has already earned the 1,000 coins, for like, Lawrence. And here's the funny thing, because, he said, like, 500, it's heavy to carry, like, like, 500 coins, so I changed into Rimmel coins. I think that's what he said. I thought that, obviously, I remember that the amount of coins he has to give is like 1,000, but he said 500. So I thought, oh, maybe 500 coins is worth 1,000. I don't know what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought again it was like some kind of currency conversation or something. That's why I was thinking. So it took me a while to properly understand that no, he's not talking. It's not the money for the challenge. That is the money for the money that he's promised to pay Lawrence, and the whole credit thing, the pirate credit thing that he's trying to do. It's money for that. So that's the amount over there. And yeah, so it's still not over, because at that point I was thinking, wait, so it's over, like what's going on, what can Lawrence do now, like he got the money, but no, so it's not over. So he got the amount for the pirate that he sold to him on credit, and that's why he gave him the contract. And then now, okay, now it's going to start. Whatever's going to happen from now here onwards is going to start, because Lawrence's part of the plan has still not started. His plan to crash the market is still not started. So and yeah, and also another thing, I'm not really sure, because they also kind of established this point in the previous episode, that it doesn't matter even if the market crashes. If Amati, like, can stop at the part where the price is maximum and sell it by then he's done with it. He doesn't need to stay up until the market crashes. If he gets, like, and he himself said, as soon as I reach my value, I'm going to sell everything. It doesn't matter. So if he really does that, then Lawrence will have to bring down the market before Amati is able to reach that 1,000 gold, the 1,000 coins. Because if he gets to 1,000 coins, it's over. Now here's the thing. They were talking about profit and stuff in today's episode, if you remember. So one thing might happen, and that will be kind of, I guess you could say, kind of like what's it called, like poetic justice, is that if Amati gets too greedy, and even if after he crosses the amount of coins, he still doesn't sell, waiting for the price to get even higher to make him more profit, and then like he messes up and the market crashes suddenly and he loses everything, like that'll be kind of, I guess you could, like I said, it's like poetic justice, because like it would kind of highlight that, oh, like he was doing this purely for profit, so he shot his own foot by waiting, even though he could have just sold it and gotten the money and been done with the whole thing. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen in tomorrow's episode, but yeah. But if that doesn't happen, and if he really is planning to sell, like the pyrites as soon as it reaches the amount, then Lawrence will have to crash the market before that. That's the thing. So let's wait and see. It can go in two directions. Either he's going to get too greedy and like just wait for so long that it completely just like goes down, and he's just then going to be face palming himself. Either that, or he will sell it. He will sell it as soon as it reaches it, but Lawrence doesn't let it get to that point. He crashes the market before that. So it can go in these two directions. So let's wait and see what happens. Right. So there you go. Like that ending part was a little bit confusing to me, because I kind of had a whole misunderstanding. I thought the whole game is over because he got the amount, but no, it's the amount for the pyrite that he was he had promised to give him. Right. So that's the thing. And now I'm guessing next episode, like Lawrence will probably have to wait for the pyrite to come to him. Diana, like Diana's going to. So after he gets the pyrite, then maybe he will, like, I'm trying to think, like, what is he trying to do here? Like, obviously he's going to get the pyrite from Diana, and after getting it, will he sell it immediately, all at the same time in bulk? Because if he does that, and at that opportunity, maybe like the little kid, he's going to spread the rumors that, oh, wheat price might increase, so okay, I think I can see that happening. So basically, this is what I think. I doubt it's going to go exactly as I say, but I feel like, like at least in my head, I think this is how it's going to go. So he's going to get the pyrite, he's going to sell it, all at the same time in bulk. And as soon as he does that, as we know, when the supply will increase of the pyrite, and the price will drop. So as soon as he sells everything in bulk, the price is going to take a sharp decline. As soon as it takes a sharp decline, people will start getting scared. They'll be like, oh no, it was going up until now. Because this is the thing, everyone's a businessman, they're merchants, they know like how price goes up and down, up and down. So any point of time they see price going down, they'll probably immediately think of selling it, because they know like if it goes more and more down, if it starts crashing, and they also know that seeing these other people might sell as well, and it's going to go even more down. So if that happens, they will fear that they're going to lose, so they'll probably immediately going to sell. It's basically like stock market, like it's just, like it goes up, and as soon as people like like the whole thing, and they'll start selling it, Lawrence will sell it and it's going to go down. People's going to get scared and think it's going to go more down because other people will sell more, and they'll sell theirs, which is going to bring it even more down. So this thing will happen. With along with that, if the kid spreads the rumors that wheat price might increase, they will probably see that I have another opportunity to make money. So instead of waiting here, thinking that the price might rise again, let me just sell everything and get wheat before wheat prices rises. So they'll do that. So I think that's the chain reaction that might happen. They'll also have another incentive to go and invest in wheat because of the rumor that wheat price might increase. And another thing, people in the comment section previously told me, which I didn't understand, is that the traveling merchants, they're getting pyrite here to make a money in this place only. It's going to lose value somewhere else. So their main commodity is wheat. So they eventually will have to sell all the pyrite and get wheat. I was kind of, and this is the one point that was kind of confusing me in the previous episode. I was like, why wheat? They're already making money out of pyrite. Why not keep it pyrite? But I realized then that is not possible. So they know they will have to go back to wheat, as soon as they get out of here. So they know that the pyrite price is just something for today, for like this place. So they know they will have to part with it sooner or later. So if they realize that the price is going to increase, and they know eventually they will have to go back to wheat, they will hurriedly sell it, because that is their main thing. That is the place they'll have to go back to. This is just a momentary amount of profit that they can but that is like the main livelihood. So that kind of thing, and it makes so much sense. And that is when I understood that so that's why they will eventually go back to wheat. It doesn't matter how much profit they can make out of pyrite, they will go back to wheat. That is, there's no question about it. So that kind of thing. So that is why I think there's a possibility that's what's going to happen. Lawrence is going to sell everything at the same time. It's going to go down. People are going to get scared. They'll be like, oh my god, it's going down. What now? Other people will sell it and it'll go more down. So before other people sell it and it goes more down, let me sell it. And they'll sell it and it's going to go more down, and it's going to become a chain reaction. And then suddenly maybe there'll be a rumor floating around that wheat price will rise, and the people who were hesitating to sell, they'll probably be like, okay, so let me just sell this. Instead of waiting for me to make a loss out of it, let me just sell it and go and invest in wheat before the price increases. And the remaining people who will probably have the pyrite, they'll hardly sell that as well, and and go and invest in wheat. And what the funny thing here is that Amartey will not be able to do literally anything. He won't be able to do anything because he has to wait for the price to go up so that he can get enough to sell it to Lawrence. Before that, he cannot do anything. So if he sees the market crashing, he'll literally be a sitting duck. He won't be able to do anything. He'll just wait there, seeing his whole plan going into flames, and won't be able to do anything about it. So yeah, that is, I think there's a possibility it might go in that way, but I'm not really sure. Let's wait for the next episode. But I'm just saying in a way as if no other complications will happen. Who knows? Maybe some other new complication will begin that Lawrence will have to tackle. So this is I think this is the best case scenario. The whole thing that I said. There's a big possibility that something might go wrong here and there. So then that will be another problem, and Lawrence will have to take care of that. So yeah, let's see. Let's wait for the next episode and see how it goes. Again, if I made any mistake, because this is like this is literally economics. I have no clue about how a lot of these things work. And the only thing I know about economy is like the basic thing, where if this whole thing, if you sell something, if the amount increases, and the thing that Lawrence's friend was telling that kid, that when will the price increase and when will it decrease? If there's a huge amount, an excessive amount of supply, and the amount of people buying it are less, then the price is like less. The price will decrease. If the amount of supply is less and the amount of people trying to buy it is more, price will increase, which is like proper common sense. So that is the only thing I know about economy. Everything else I have no idea. So if I'm misunderstanding something, let me know. Right, and there you go. That was today's episode. Now I'm going to go through this episode scene by scene. There's a few things that I need to properly check and properly understand. There were a few really good moments in today's episode as well. I'm going to talk about them. So let us start. Okay, in the very first scene, we get to see Lawrence goes to one of the taverns. He meets Bartos there, and he's like, Bartos, can I please talk to you? So Bartos comes to the side, and Lawrence is like, can I thought you would know someone who could sell me pirate. So immediately Bartos is like kind of suspicious. He's like, at first he thinks like he's trying to make a profit out of it or something. So he's like, okay. So wait a minute. Right. So Lawrence says, I know Diana kind of hates talking for a business, but still, and he says like, you're interested in the alchemist's pyrite. So you're trying to make that, like you're trying to make so much profit that you're trying to get hands on the alchemist's pyrite. Is that what you're trying to do? At first, that's what he thinks. So he's like, unless until Diana gives permission, I cannot do that. So like that's why I came to you. Here we go. Why are suggesting a deal when you know that? Is it because you want that much profit in pyrite? And he says like, no, because of the rumors that it can show you your fate or that it heals all diseases. So he asked two questions. Are you trying to make profit, or are you just lured into the mystical aspect of it that people are talking about? Which of is it, these two? And he's like, no, neither. It is true that I'm doing it for my own profit, which in a way I guess you could say yes. He's looking at it from a pure like profit and loss perspective, because he thinks that he wants, obviously he wants to get back Hollow. So in that sense, he's equating that with his own profit, like in a weird way, because he's a merchant. That's all he knows how to talk about and how to express himself. And that, but obviously, yeah. And also another reason, I feel like he's saying it in this cryptic way because he doesn't want to reveal the whole Hollow situation to either Bartos or Diana. That's why he's talking in this cryptic way. He couldn't, he's not saying that, oh, the Hollow, like I want to help her. So I do wonder, why is he trying to keep Hollow's yeah, obviously you can keep Hollow's identity a secret, like that is like surely, like you can do that. But couldn't he just say that, oh, I have a traveling companion who I want to help out? Like, can he not just do that? I don't understand why he's like completely trying to. Maybe he's fearing that Bartos and Diana is going to put two and two together, because he actually went to them asking for Yoitsu and all those questions he asked them. So maybe he thinks that if he reveals that there's a traveling companion with him, who's traveling with, and they'll put two and two together and realize that, oh, something is going on with the traveling companion. It's not a normal human being. Maybe that's what he's fearing? I don't know. I'm not really sure, like, why he's trying to keep this a secret. Like, yeah, obviously keep Hollow's identity a secret, but couldn't you just say that I'm, like a traveling companion? I'm not 100% sure, but at this point, I feel like it's just, like they know what he's trying to do and what's going on. I'm pretty sure Diana realized by the end of it. Not even by the end. I'm pretty sure Diana realized from the very beginning that something like this is going on. Like he's asking this for someone, right? However, the profit I'm trying to gain isn't from explosive increase in price. Okay, um, something more fundamental. Okay, so here he starts talking about cargo and stuff. Here we go. If you're a merchant, haven't you felt like your cargo was about to fall into a valley? Obviously, this whole situation with Hollow now that is going on. If a wagon gets stuck in the mud, we weigh abandoning it against stubbornly getting it out. Yeah. We weigh the values of the goods on the cart, the profit and the funds on hand, the schedule and the cost of getting help. All that is going on now. If there's a danger of being discovered by bad people, yeah, okay, so obviously this part, so this part kind of insinuates that that is why he's not trying to reveal Hollow's identity or the fact that someone is traveling with him. We weigh all these things before deciding to abandon the goods or not. So you're in the situation now, Batos says. That is right. I don't want to give up my cargo. I'll push myself recklessly in that. What I need to do that. Okay. So Batos sits down, keeps quiet for a long amount of time actually. Like he just sits down and just stays there. Lawrence is just staying there, just looking at him. And you can see more and more time passes. Lawrence is getting more and more anxious. He's sweating. And then Batos is like, wait a minute, where's that part? Yeah, then he looks at him and then he's like, that is what I was waiting to hear. No matter how little time there is, if there is no other options, a good traveling merchant would wait patiently for the chance. Wait, what does he mean by this? Wait a minute. No matter how little time there is, okay, if there's no other option, a good traveling merchant would wait patiently for the chance. Wait, so is he saying that the fact that there's a little amount of time that he just sat down not saying anything, is he saying that that was like a test, like he was waiting to see if Lawrence just leaves or he stays there? So if he leaves, then that would mean that obviously either he is not really that committed to this or he has some other option. But since he didn't leave, he just stayed there waiting for like quite a bit amount of time for him to speak. He's saying that I was trying to decipher whether you have another option or not. You really need it from us. So that is why I'm going to help. Okay, I think. So he's like, I don't have pirate at hand. Okay, so I believe. Okay, so then there you go. And he's like, all right. So and tell Diana the password. What was the password? A box with feathers or something? Okay, I've come to buy a box to store white feathers. I do wonder the deeper. I'm sure there's a deeper meaning behind this. I've come to buy a box. Okay, a box to store white feathers. Or maybe it's just some random, like sentence, and there's no deeper meaning. Maybe I'm trying to find a meaning behind it, and there's no proper meaning behind it. White feathers in a box. I have no idea. I'm assuming there's a deeper meaning behind this. Anyways, so he says like tell her that, and then he's like, and Helena says, oh, thank you so much. I'll compensate you. And he's like, oh, just tell me a story. And he's like, did I sound like my the same dignity as madam? Right. So after that, Lawrence goes to the that place. He knocks the door. Like Diana comes and Diana's like, who's there? Lawrence is like, I'm sorry, this late at night, but Batos sent me. And she opens the door, and Lawrence then says, that password. She lets him in, and then she says, it is rare for me to have several visitors in one day. There you go. This is where Lawrence is like, wait, what the hell? Someone came here. And immediately I'm pretty sure he thought of Amati. I also thought of Amati. But like I said, by the end of it, I thought about it, and I realized that in no way is Diana and Batos selling stuff to Amati. He doesn't seem like the type of person who could impress them. Yeah. So, anyways. So he tells him like, about the whole pirate situation. And she's like, oh, it's increasing in price. And she says, I know, Mr. Batos wouldn't help you just for some gains of profit. So since I trust him, I understand that he must have properly judged you and sent you here. Okay, so he says that, oh, this is where he brings up the whole cargo situation again. He says, like, I'm trying to save my cargo. And she's like, your cargo? The enemy of a merchant is always his goods. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Did I read that correct? The enemy of a merchant is always his goods. Oh, okay, I see. They must evaluate its value, consider its handling, scrutinize the destination. Traveling merchant loses when he makes a mistake in this aspect. Okay, so that's done. Right now I'm trying to pull back the goods that are about to fall out of my cart. Again, he's talking in a cryptic way because he doesn't want to probably reveal stuff. After considering the value, handling, the destination of my goods, I've realized that I definitely cannot drop my cargo halfway. And she's laughing. Buying a box to store white feathers. It sounds like a grand password, but I set it in hopes of finding things that spark my interest. Oh. Oh, so that is okay. So it's not really a password. So basically, it's a way of saying, or when Bartos gives this password to someone, he considers that this person has something interesting that will probably amuse Diana. And when that person comes in and tells that to Diana, Diana probably realizes that, okay, so this person probably has something that might amuse me. So something like that, I think. A bird will naturally drop their feathers when they flap their wings in joy. The people who have been given my password will screen my visitors for me as well. Wait, the people who've been given my password will screen my visitors for me. Oh. Wait. He's saying that the people who've been given my... Oh, so he's saying that the people who have been given my password, which is this, will automatically screen my visitors for me. So she's saying that the people who are considered, who I consider at least worthy enough to, have conversation and deal business with, they will also automatically screen the visit. So, for example, Lawrence here, since he's been given the password, he will probably, obviously, he'll have this password in his head. If he finds someone interesting enough for, maybe someone needs some kind of help, maybe in this situation where, Lawrence really needs help, this whole situation with Hollow and everything. And Bartos, since Bartos is the person who Diana has already, approved of and given the password to, Bartos saw Lawrence and Bartos was like, okay, this guy is probably, important enough and worthy enough to talk to Diana about stuff. So let me give him the password. Similar thing will happen if Lawrence comes across someone else in the future of his travels, and he judges that, oh, this person would be good enough for Diana to have a business with. So Lawrence might give that password to that person and tell them to go there. So the people who have been given her password automatically screens other people for her. Is that what he's saying? She's saying. So I'm assuming the same situation happened with Bartos as well. Diana probably found Bartos interesting as well. That is why, she gave Bartos the password. And now Bartos gave it to someone else, which is Lawrence. And now Lawrence might in the future give it to someone else. And this is going to continue. So that is why she's saying that, they automatically do the job for me by bringing in people. And they automatically screens the visitors for me who I might find amusing. And obviously the password in itself is an indication that the other person thinks this person is worthy enough. And she says, I just need to take a final look. So she's like, yeah, I'm the main person who's like, and Bartos and the other people who have given the password to, they do the initial screening for me. And I'm the person who's just, sees them and sees if they're worthy enough. I just need to take a look. So it's basically like, okay, Bartos and the others who have been given the password, they're like the first screening process. So if you're able to go past that, then Diana makes a final decision and sees if this person is worthy enough or not for me to properly talk to and deal more, do more business with. And obviously the fact that she's saying all of this to Lawrence means that she deems him worthy enough. Otherwise she wouldn't have said this. I do wonder if that's the thing, if now Lawrence in the future will give this password to someone else if he finds him worthy. Do you really have some pyrite in hand? Already have some pyrite in hand? Okay, all that stuff. Okay, he says, I do know a few merchants I can buy from. I also hope to buy it from you. She's like, okay, fine. If it's just buy it, you can buy it from us. But then she's like, wait, there was a visitor before you. Yeah, someone has already requested its purchase. How much of it at how much price? Person has bought it on credit and has yet to receive the actual item. Reservation. So like I said, Lawrence, if it thinks, I'm pretty sure Lawrence is thinking it's Amati, but if I, like I said, I don't think it is Amati. It's no, in no way it will Bartos and Diana think that Amati is worthy enough to do business with. From what I observed of these, Diana and Bartos, in no way are they approving. So I'm pretty sure it's not Amati. So the thing is, obviously, since Lawrence probably doesn't realize that, or he's probably fearful of the fact that it's Amati, he's like, I cannot let anyone get the pyrite because I will lose the opportunity to get the pyrite. If I lose the opportunity to get pyrite, I won't be able to sell and crash the market. So he needs the pyrite, and that's why he says it doesn't matter how much I need to pay, I'll pay. Just negotiate it and sell it to me. There we go. He's like, I'm fine to sell it to you instead. And he's like, okay. She's like, let me negotiate with the other party. Amount was 16,000 Iliad, worth at today's market price, which means 400 trending silver coins. Okay, so yeah, and you can see that Lawrence smiles because it's more than enough for because the whole thing in credit that he got from Amati, it's 500. So he sees that it's 400. So he's like, okay, it's possible. Yeah, the price will probably increase because she's now going to negotiate. So it might go like 500, and that's why he says it's fine. From 400, if it increases, like if the other person who's reserved it, if they say like, oh, I'm going to take 500 or 600, 700, it's fine. Even if it goes above 500, Lawrence is ready to put his own money into it. So he's like, what's that person's name? And she's like, no, I cannot say that. Like, safety measure. I cannot allow that. Which makes sense, obviously. Like, just imagine, like, some like crazy person comes here to do some business, and if they get to know which person is trying to get the stuff from them, they might go and just, I don't know, like shank them or something. If that is that type of person. Like, just to get their hands on, so it's possible. So like, that is why she's like, nah man, ain't doing all of that. Privacy is important. Okay, so then that whole conversation happens. Indian Lawrence is like, fine. Okay, so she says, where will I be certain to find you tomorrow? He says like, oh, front of the stone market's stall at the merchant's stall at the market. I believe you'll be able to find me there around the time the market opens. There you go. She's like, fine, I understand. I'll have someone contact you as soon as possible. Then he says, I don't care about the price. Please let the other party know, as long as it is not double the current value, which is like, like 400, like 800, I can buy that at a much higher price. So he's like, yeah, you can negotiate it up until 800. It's 400 now, 800. So if it's 800, that would mean that, like Amati is going to pay him 500. So 300 more. 300 more, that probably means Lawrence, all the money that Lawrence has is 300. So he probably has 300 coins of his own asset, and Amati is going to give him 500, which with the whole credit thing. So he's like, yeah, up until 800 I can go. Then above that, I don't think he can do anything because he literally has nothing more. So he said like 800. Okay, there you go. That's that. So that is the whole conversation. Oh, so then they have a little bit more conversation. He's like, I'm sorry, like, like it's so late at night. And she's like, oh, like, if you have some more interesting story for me, you can tell me, like any stories, whatever, like even if you come at night. At which Lawrence is keeping quiet. So she's like, oh, like, you think it, like, making such a suggestive expression while leaving a woman's house. Oh boy. Goodness, God may pass judgment on you. That is when Lawrence is like, I'm sorry, but can I ask you a question? So he asks, like, can a pagan god get married to a human? Yeah. And she's like, yeah, a lot. and there are many. And she was going to say something. She's saying like, yeah, for instance, and then she's like, oh, stop. She doesn't say. So I'm kind of interested who she was going to, like, what name she would bring up, or if there's like something that is important in the future or something. Who knows? Anyways, and then she's like, oh, you're in a rush. Go. Can you tell me these stories in detail? And she's like, yeah, sure. And then in the end, she does say, like, like, best of luck. Like, obviously, that is a clear indication that she knows what's going on. Right. So here we go. Now Lawrence comes back to his friend, and he's like, so this is what happened. I'm keeping my trust in you if you can find someone. And this is where he says something here which is very interesting. He says that as long as it is cash up front, there's 370 coins worth of, he was going to say pirate, but he's like, stop, don't say that word. So obviously he cannot let anyone, like this whole thing come out. So he's like, so yeah, okay, here we go. 370 coins worth. So this is what he's mentioned before, that even if I cannot go out asking other people, like, openly, I might just hear some rumors and hear if someone has enough money and enough pyrite to sell it to you, and I might just leak it to you. So that is the result of his investigation. There you go. So he says, like, I thought about after you left. So this is the part that is very interesting. He says the only reason it was pocket money for me was because I didn't have much extra money to begin with. But what about those with a lot of money, which is true? Those people. So a lot of people might be buying it secretly, unlike lone wolf traveling merchants. They're merchants that have been. Okay, so he's basically. That's funny because he's saying, like, this is the exact reason why he said I cannot buy it, because then he talks about reputation and stuff, and since he's a settled man, he's like, I cannot do this. But he just realized that it's because I don't have enough money, I'm not thinking about it. What about other people like me? They see this opportunity, and then if they have enough money, they'll definitely buy it in secret. Obviously they will be fearing of their reputation just like me, but it's money and they're merchant at their core. They'll probably try to keep it a secret and still buy it. And there's a lot of people like this here. And now the problem started here. Now that the price, he says it here. Okay, let me read this. Like, since it's increasing, they cannot sell it now. So they bought a lot, but now that the price for them is so much, it's difficult for them to sell it all. Because obviously they're going to get, obviously they'll rake in a lot of money. That's number one. And number two, the price is going to drop immediately. Is that why? I think so. Even a small amount has gone to a huge profit. Sensitive ones are even more hesitant to sell it. Yeah, so they're fearing about the fact that if suddenly people see that, oh my god, how does this guy get so much amount of money? Like, in overnight, like, what the hell? They'll probably start, like, talking about rumors and stuff, and other type of things. Or if the market price suddenly drops, people might, like, suspect a few other people and be like, oh, maybe this guy did this, and rumors will start. That's why they're scared to sell it now. I think. So sell it all there you go, all openly. So they cannot sell it openly. Yeah, that's obviously, that makes sense. They cannot sell it openly. So they're trying to find an opportunity to sell it in a covert way. So Lawrence is the best person for that. Since he also wants to keep it a secret, they're like, oh my god, good, like, great opportunity. We're ready to sell it to you. And they're also desperate to sell it. So like, it's like a very good opportunity for Lawrence to get his hands on pyrite. So he says, you bet you understand what I did. Yeah. And he's like, so you told your assistant, run around flapping his mouth, saying stuff like, there's a greedy little traveling merchant who's running around buying pyrite with a hard cash. Are you interested? And everyone was like, and obviously people cannot really show it outside that they're interested, because then the rumors will start. So they heard it and they were like, okay, it's a good opportunity to get rid of my pyrite. So that is why they probably went secretly to his friend and told them that, hey, your assistant, he was saying stuff like this. Do you really have someone like that? If that's the case, I have pyrite. I can sell it. I can sell it at a good bargain. So Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that's what's happened, and that is why he knows everything, and he's like properly made the calculation, and he's like, oh, 370 coins worth of pyrite people are ready to sell, so that kind of thing, right? Okay, so that is right. Okay, all that stuff. Should I send him out? Of course. Then okay, so Lawrence here stops for a moment. um he says sorry, and then he's like, oh, you should thank me, and she's like, thanks. Okay, so this is where he says, like, you never thought of me as a friend, did you? You just thought of me as a convenient way of making money. Like, like typical merchant. So Lawrence is kind of like awkward at this situation, because obviously he cannot really say anything because he knows he's actually correct. And he's like, what about now though? Do you still consider me a convenient merchant for your business deals? And he's like, no. It's a problem most traveling merchants face when becoming a town merchant. Which is true, because like, obviously you're changing from a traveling merchant. You were just like Lawrence back then. He was, and then he settled down, and now he's like, okay. And his friends are other, like, traveling merchants, so he realizes they don't see him as a friend, but he has changed his mind. So it's basically like someone who has a certain temperament in their mind, them changing their whole situation into something else, and then realizing the situation, and realizing that the other people also see him like this because they're also traveling merchants. So like so now he's like, I'm hoping now that this whole thing is happening, you at least see me as a friend. um okay, there's something more interesting than that. Let me ask you this: if we were going to part ways forever, would you run around town this desperately? He's like, yeah, what if I was in Hollow's situation? you know and then he's laughing. Well, I look forward to it in the future. You're running around this frantically for that companion of yours. um there's what a boneless man looks like when they're smitten by a woman. um However, only flexible branches can withstand fierce winds. There you go. So in modern words, I'm going to just use the newer generation words that people love to use nowadays. In modern words, he's calling him a simp, and then he also says that what's the matter if you're a simp? That makes you more flexible. It makes you stronger. So there you go. There's no shame in being a simp for someone if you are really that committed to that person. In modern words, if it's easy to understand, because people nowadays love using these words. Right. Yeah, so only flexible branches can withstand fierce winds. I think you're the same as me. You're probably affected by the curse of traveling. So he understands his situation, Lawrence's situation, very well, because his wife, I think Adele, I think that's her name. He's like, yeah, I was like you, so I went through a similar situation. So I can understand you properly. So I can understand what you're going through now. That's why I can tell you these things. You've become an interesting guy because that curse is being lifted. The curse of a traveling merchant, and it has been lifted by Hollow. So now you become a more interesting person. You're not just a person thinking about calculations and profit. Can't you just tell? You just happen to start your travels. You just happen to start your travels with a companion by luck. Now here, this part is very interesting. I really love this part. What he says here. He says you just like started to travel through luck, isn't it? Then he says that okay. Then he laughs, and then he says that you remind me of when I met Adele. There you go. You are cursed, beset by the curse of traveling merchants. Curse of traveling merchants? And he just gets up and starts exclaiming, yes, don't you? That poets all say that money cannot buy love. The preachers preach that there are more important things in the world than money. Then when making money is so hard, how are we to obtain something more precious than that? That is a very good question. Yeah, and then everyone's like, yeah, tell him, Mark. Your wisdom. Uh, right. Okay, so all of them, I'm pretty sure, are like merchants who have settled down because they've also gone through the same thing. That's why they're like, yeah, you tell him, you know, like what type of people we were back then and how we changed and how that happened. If we work hard and finally obtain it, we cannot help but treasure it, right? But the real valuable things are surprisingly easy to obtain. And before you realize it, you've been protecting that princess of yours. That is such a great line. I don't know, usually, like, like you heard, which is true, He's saying, like, people say about, like, precious things being very difficult to obtain, this and that, and obviously money is precious, so, like, people say money is hard to earn, which is true. Then people say that love is more important than money. So how can we obtain love so easily, sometimes, just like that? Shouldn't it be even more gruesome to get love than money? So that is why he says, like, that is where people make make a mistake. Sometimes important and things, which is really important to you, are very easy to obtain. And I guess I could kind of add to this a little bit. It is very easy to obtain, but it's difficult to keep holding on to it. That is the part which is difficult, and that is literally what Lawrence is doing now. He's trying to hold on to it, which is the more difficult part. He got it very easily, obviously, but he's trying to hold on to it, and that is more this is more difficult than earning money. You can say that. So this part is the more difficult one. After you get something to keep holding on to, because a lot of people unfortunately lose it. That kind of thing. And I guess that is why in the end people say stuff like it's difficult to get true love, because they kind of mistake the fact, they kind of forget the fact that they actually got it very easily, but they weren't able to hold on to it. So I think, like, the correct thing to say here is not that it's difficult to obtain true love, but it's difficult to keep holding on to it. That thing. Like, that's probably like something that people forget, that when they lose something they think like, oh, it's difficult to obtain. But no, that's not the thing. It's not difficult to obtain, it's easy to obtain. Sometimes it just happens, but then it's difficult to keep holding on to it, which is the part where you messed up, and that's why you think about it like that. I don't know, that's just something that I think. Right. And he remembers Hollow saying the same thing. It's not only brawn that makes a good knight. Do not lose heart. You're the main character in this story. And he's like, yeah, I'm that person, I'm him. Okay, so this is where he starts thinking about Hollow, what she said, like, what am I to you? And Lawrence is now realizing, and he's like, you understand now? And he's like, yeah, I think I might be able to give a proper answer if asked the same question that Hollow asked me. I do wonder what he's going to, because I'm pretty sure at the end of everything he's going to give the answer to Hollow. I do wonder what exact answer it will be. I doubt it'll be as simple as that, oh, like, I like you, or something like that. I'm sure it'll be something different, which I'm very curious to hear. What's he going to say in the end to Hollow after all the problem, solves. Okay. He kind of then jokes on. He's like, "Oh, this is a great thing that I saw. Like, you being like this. It's worth. I feel like it's worth 10 Lumiones and worth enough." And it's funny, and Lawrence is like, "Oh, if it's all, if that's all secondhand information, that is a terrible thing," which is true, because he is able to say all of these things to Lawrence because he himself went through that. So that's why Lawrence is like, oh, it's all secondhand information, like oh, what are you saying? It's not that you came up with this, like, like, again, it's kind of funny because now they have completely reverted back into this whole playful, like, merchant banter, like, 10 Lumiere worth, and he's like, it's all secondhand information, like, what are you on about? Shut up. Right. Typical merchant banter. I hope things work out. Well, the way things fall will all depend on you. Okay, again, I don't understand what he means by this. Like, I guess it is true which way this will go. It's definitely, but I feel like he has a deeper reason for saying that. I don't understand. Anyways, he says, like, where he's sleeping, and then he says, like, okay, and he says, like, oh, come to my place, and he's like, no, I want to stay in a weed bag. And he's like, wait, why? Like, and he's like, oh, I just want to get some experience. and he probably wants to see it through, like, how Hollow, like, felt, and how, like, what she went through, to see the world, and see, get at least walk in her shoes for a little bit, to get a proper understanding of her, which again is a way of showing that, yeah, he wants to properly understand Hollow now. Up until now, obviously he did want to understand Hollow, but now he himself understands that he wants to understand Hollow. That's why he's, okay. So then in the morning, you can see he's in the middle of the road, not in the middle of the road, but in an alley kind of place, inside the weed bag, and he's like, "Oh my god, so cold. Hollow is cold today, so can you tuck your tail?" And obviously Hollow's not there. Right. And then he gets up and he's like, "Oh my god." And then he meets the kid and he's like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And he says, have Mark told you what he wants you to do?" And he's like, "No, not properly, but I heard there's to make a trap for a terrible guy." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." So there you go. So he says that you have a difficult job to do. So he asks his name. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Eulant." Okay. So shakes hands. So he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of hungry." And he's like, "Can I buy you some bread?" And he's like, "Yeah, there you go." He gives him 2 coins. And he's like, "What, 2? Like, 1 is fine." And he's like, "Oh, it's for you. Like, keep it. It's like advance for your, what work you'll do. I'll give you more after, the whole thing is end. So don't worry about that." So he's like, he goes off to buy stuff. He says Mark tells that eating breakfast is a luxury, right? And he just leaves. And then Mark is like, "Come on, don't spoil him." Okay, so this is one thing that he says that I need to properly read and understand. He says that, well, it has been pretty cold lately. It'll be a problem if he comes down with a cold because he was hungry. I don't understand this. What? What was? Then why does he say that stop spoiling him? I don't understand this part. He says that, oh, if he's hungry, then he's going to come, like, catch a cold, which is so. Okay, I'm not really sure what he's trying to say. I don't understand. Like, he says, like, he's hungry. No, wait a minute. What does he say? He's At first he says don't spoil him. Then he says it's pretty cold lately. It'll be a problem if he comes down with a cold because he was hungry. Then why did he say that stop spoiling him? Same for me. After all, there's work I need learn to do. Yeah, you know what? I don't understand that part. I don't know what he meant by that. Like, okay, anyways, okay, so there you go. That's that. So he's gone to the marketplace now, and you can see. Now I'm not 100% sure what those things are. In the marketplace you can see there's like some big boards. Obviously, I think I can make a guess. That's probably some type of calculation as to the pyrite sales, or something like that. Oh, I think I understand one thing. So pictures, the drawing, the structures in the middle. I think those are like how the pirates look like. The first one on top is kind of like a squarish one. Then there's a little one in the back which is kind of like has 6 to 7 sides. There's another. Okay, so they sketched the structure of the pyrite, and I think people are bidding on it, like the amount of like the stuff, the what do you call them, the wooden blocks beside and on the side of it probably denotes which person like wants to buy that. And I'm guessing we saw later that someone came in with another wooden block. I'm guessing it's their name is written on it, so they come in and slide it down. So the person who has put in the first, they'll get the first batch, and then the second person, then the third person, and and as more and more people will buy it, more and more the price will increase. Is that what it is about? I'm not really sure the exact meaning, but I'm assuming something like that. Yeah, as people are saying, everyone's waiting to buy, no one's selling. So the left side is people who want to sell. Okay, it's empty. On the right side is that many amount of people who wants to buy it. Oh, see. Okay, price will go up today. Everyone's saying we'll buy wheat later, focus on pyrite. And this is what I said. Like, I think like like what's going to happen now is going to like in the next episode, like Lawrence, after getting the pyrite, sell it. Like, people will see that the price is dropping, they'll get scared, because everyone knows they'll have to go back to wheat at the end of the day. So they'll get scared and they'll think other people will sell and it's going to get it more down, so they'll sell it. And then within that time, maybe like the rumor will start that, oh, wheat price will increase, so they'll sell even more and try to get wheat. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Let's wait and see. Okay, so this is where you can see like Lunt, I think, yeah, that's his name, asks Mark that when do prices go up and go down. Okay, so no, wait, what does he say? Wait a minute. Oh no, he says, what will it take for Lawrence to win? And he asks, when do prices go up? When there's more buyers than the product, which is, yeah. Then when does it go down? Vice versa, when there's more product than the buyers. True. Well, that is the gist of it. Sales are needed to heat up the market. Yeah. If nobody sells, only the people who already have some have any advantage. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's true. So if nobody sells, obviously it's going to keep increasing. So if no one sells, only people who already have some will have advantage, which makes sense because they've already have it. So the price is going to increase more and more, and they'll be like, oh, this is great. Like my commodity that I have is increasing more and more. Unless and until someone sells, it's going to keep happening that way. So they'll only have the advantage. Yeah. Because people sell, others can obtain it and price goes up. Yeah. Sells and other people can obtain it, and that is when the price will increase. Right. However, his goal this time isn't to make money, which is true, is to make Amati lose money. Not lose money, but not make money. Not enough for it to reach that coin. He has to find the perfect timing to sell a large amount. This is what I was saying. Like, he needs to wait for the perfect amount, and he needs to not let Amati go up until like the amount that he has promised, the whole deal. So before that, he'll have to sell and make the market crash and cause the price to crash. If Amati sells his stock even a second before that, it's over. Reaches the goal, yeah, it's done. Need to write mix of patience and resolve to find the perfect timing. So all of this is happening. More people are coming and buying it. You can see, and this is where Lawrence sees like Amati's there and Hollow's there with her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hollow's planning something. No, know exactly what. Otherwise, why would she be here? Makes no sense. Again, or maybe she's here to see what Lawrence does. We'll see. So no, I think she's here to somehow like. I don't know. I get the feeling that she's here to somehow maybe like kind of help Lawrence in some way, but she's not letting that show. She's acting as if she's here to help Amati, and Amati believes that wholeheartedly. So you can see Amati talks to her, and Amati probably says something like, "Oh, look, Lawrence is here," something like that. And he goes to Lawrence, and he's like, right. So he says here that, "Oh, good morning, Lawrence. It will get busy the moment the opening bell of the market rings." Yeah, so he's like, let's do it now. Here we go. Gives him the coin. Now, like I said, I got very confused. I thought he already gathered the amount. So I was like, wait, it's over then, the whole match. No, it's the money for the credit thing. What I promised you, 500 that worth. So he's like, wait, it's Rimmel coins. I think that's what he calls it. Rimmer, gold coin. Yeah, I thought carrying around 500 silver coins, yeah. Too heavy and inconvenient. Right. So, I'm sure the exchange cost you a lot in fees. And that's not fine. It's just flaunting his like, oh, look at me. I exchange it at today's current market value, making it 23 Rimmer gold coins. Okay. So there you go. And he's like, okay, aren't you going to count it to make sure? And you can see how rattled he is about the whole situation, seeing Hollow there, that he has forgotten, as a merchant, he's forgotten the main thing to do, count the money. And he's like, Now I'd like the contract for the 500 silver coins worth of pirate. There you go. Like I don't know. I was reacting. I probably didn't properly catch this part or probably didn't register. But yeah. Um. Okay. So he gets the contract, and there you go. The bell rings. Everyone's ready to start the thing, and that's where it ended. So yeah, that was today's episode. Again, a huge this discussion section became too long. My God, I'm ending it here. Like I knew that the discussion is going to get longer and longer, as at least in this arc, because I remember this arc has a lot of things that I need to understand that I've completely forgotten and I have no clue what's going to happen. So okay, so that's what happened. Again, like this episode was a lot easier to understand than the previous episode, but it had a lot of subtleties and a lot of things to kind of think about. Especially with that whole section in the end, the what Mark said a few things, like Diana's few comments and all that stuff. So yeah, so there you go, great episode. Looking forward to the next one. I think like next episode will probably be like the finale or something of this arc or whatever is going to happen. So let's wait and see how this goes. Like I said, I have like a way, I have like a certain thing, like I'm thinking like, oh, this is probably how it goes. I talked about it, what's going to happen and what might happen. So I'm trying to see like in the next episode if that's exactly how it's going to go or if something else is going to happen, because that is only what I can think of. That's the only way I can see Lawrence winning this, is if what I said there, where he gets the pirate, sells it, more people start selling it, and and that's the only way I can like the only way that I can think of. Who knows, maybe something else will happen. Let's wait and see. Yeah, and thanks for watching, guys. That was my reaction. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Spice and Wolf. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.